leading it off. And then Serena Starks, and we'll pick it up a little bit on the fly here as Emily Casanova is in the circle for LSU. After Starks, it's Meade. And then you see the rest of that lineup for the Illinois Fighting Illini. 3-6 on the campaign. And what do we know about Emily Casanova? We've been seeing a lot more of her this year than we did last year.
That's right, Lynn. And the best pitch that she has is her drop ball. She was going to throw her curve 61, 62 miles an hour. And her changeup will come in at 45 miles an hour. She does not have a screw.
Casanova has started a couple of games. She's worked 10 innings. She has not allowed a run. She's only walked 3. She struck out 10. That's chopped up the middle. Pleasance can't get to it, and an early base hit by Riono. So the right fielder, Riono, opens the game for the Illini with a sharp single up the middle. Let's check LSU defensively, and this is a very good unit. Coffey and Gutierrez are at third and first, respectively. Pleasance and Daniel, the freshmen, are the middle infielders. Newland and Briggs and Rudity are in the outfield. They can really go get it. And behind the plate is Hannah Carson. This will twist off to the right side. Carson lets it roll foul. There are no weak spots defensively for the Tigers. This is a unit that has gotten to a lot of balls. It's made a lot of plays. And you just don't expect too many mistakes over the course of the year by this defense.
It's senior driven, but this is as good a defense as Beth Torina, I think, has had since she's been at LSU.
I would second that motion.
As you see the drop balls there, she induced the ground ball hit, but you're going to see a lot of ground balls from Casanova.
Starks was 2 for 3. She had 2 of the 6 hits by the Illini against Louisiana Tech. That's a check swing, and it is a committed swing. And a strikeout for Casanova.
Good start for Casanova. As you said, she hadn't gotten a lot of starts, but Beth Torina said we were going to see her more this year, and so far we have.
It's a gray day in Baton Rouge, 60 degrees right now, a 50% chance of rain, but I think that's pretty much behind us. Winds out of the north at about 7 and 8 miles an hour. Is there room? No. Right now, the sky is the color of a number 2 lead pencil.
I think we're going to get lucky with the weather. Earlier this week, it looked like we weren't going to play softball, but we are today. And it looks promising for the rest of the weekend.
It really does. There is a decreasing chance of rain, according to the latest forecast for tomorrow and Sunday. Here's Stevie Meade, the left fielder, a late swing. And Carson holds on. And suddenly there are 2 outs after the base hit, so 2 outs by strikeout.
Maturity of Casanova, she can throw that ball in the dirt. Appears to the hitter as a strike, but can waste it in the dirt and get that K on a pitcher's pitch for sure.
Here's Abby Reineck, the DP. She's first pitch swinging. The runner was moving. Let's see if they test Carson again. Riono has stolen 3 bases. She's not been caught. She's not moving this time. The wind is blowing out towards center field. Not as blustery as it was earlier.
Reineck, the leading hitter for Illinois. Painting that outside corner, and she gets that strike called.
A bell tie strike, and the count is 1-2. That was a 65-mile-an-hour pitch, and that's about the top of the range for Casanova. Casanova is the tallest LSU player, well over 6 feet.
Got another pitcher right behind her, and Stroud.
2-2 pitch, chopped to the right side. Sure-handed Gutierrez is waiting for it to come to her, and she makes the play at first base. So Casanova retires 3 in a row after the opening single by Riono, and we move to the bottom of the first inning. LSU gets another start at second base. And Tori McQueen, the left-hander, is in the circle.
Screwball, best pitch, curve, rise, change, and a drop. She's going to throw any highest speed, 59. The changeup is going to come in at 51. So not really a hard thrower here.
An early chance for the third baseman, and that ball comes out crooked. Addison Carroll knew she had to pick it up and throw quickly, and it just never was in her grasp fully. And an infield hit for Coffey.
It was a really nice, soft bunt. I'm not sure if she'd have had a play, but definitely when she released it, there was no play.
Carroll and Malott are on the corners on the infield. Ward and Avila are the middle infielders. Meade, Starks, and Riono are the outfielders. McQueen and Burkmeyer form the battery for the Illini. Here's Sierra Briggs. Coffey, by the way, has now hit safely in 8 games in a row. She's off on the first pitch. Briggs swings to protect her. It's a good throw, but Coffey beats it. It was a nice delivery by Burkmeyer, but Coffey just had too much speed.
And she got tagged in the chest. I don't know if Tyra Perry's going to ask for put the headsets on, but it was a good throw, but the tag was so high. Let's see here.
Illinois is challenging
safe.
The safe call on second base.
Got to put that tag right down on the toes.
I don't think they're going to overturn this, but we will have an early challenge. The umpires are Lyndon Batiste. He's calling balls and strikes. Chris Lyles is at first base, and Laura King is the third base umpire.
Yeah, the ball might have beat the runner, but the tag was up. And you see what can be reviewed.
Fair balls, foul balls, hit by pitch, and foul tips can be reviewed. Blocked or dead balls, spectator interference can be reviewable. Obstruction and interference can be reviewed. Malicious or flagrant contact can be looked at. Timing plays, meaning leaving the bag too early, that sort of thing. Force and tag plays, uncaught fly balls. And this didn't take long. I think we're going to have an the call is going to be upheld, but we'll get the word officially.
Malicious. Number 6 kind of throws me for a loop there.
Well, you can't put a forearm shiver into anybody.
The call of safe on second base is upheld.
Now the mic is working from Blue.
And I love this. This is technology that really helps the fans.
And the coaches, nobody's arguing after this.
No. One thing the replay has done a bit is completely eliminate coaches' squabbles with umpires. They are no more.
Nope. Camera don't lie unless it's putting 10 pounds on you.
1 ball, 1 strike to Briggs. Briggs has been so consistent over the course of her career at LSU. She has started well more than 200 games. She's committed 3 errors in her career, none in the last 2 years.
A 2-time Gold Glove winner, the only one in the country.
Briggs is pretty versatile at the plate. She can stand conventionally and take a power swing, or she can touch and go with the slapping formation. The outfield is medium depth, maybe a little bit deeper than normal, and straight away. There is a wind blowing out towards center field at maybe 7 miles an hour. The 1-2 pitch. Ooh, that didn't miss by much. Briggs was very wise to let that go, but that was a close pitch. It showed a lot of discipline by her to let that one pass.
It did, and she's a good matchup for these Tigers with their 8 lefties in the lineup.
The fewest left-handed batters we've seen for LSU in any game is 7.
Oh,
She gets ripped over the inside edge.
a big dose of outside, and she sneaks this pitch inside. Really good inside pitch, and Briggs is frozen.
That's on the edge, and Briggs was not expecting it there. That's a heck of a pitch by McQueen after working away.
It's a heck of a pitch anytime, but you're right. Good pitch calling from the dugout there.
Here's Taylor Pleasance. Pleasance last year started the season with a bang before she was injured, and she's at 444 right now.
Picking up how she started at the beginning of last year.
She is hotter than a tire fire. Pleasance has 16 base hits. She and Gutierrez, who's on deck, lead the Tigers with that number. Pleasance is among the country's RBI leaders with 27 in 13 games.
What's the timeout for? Got an assistant coach coming out. I think she's asking about the pitch clock, the timing mechanism. As we've stated before, the pitch clock is mandatory. I mean, it's a rule, but not every stadium has the visible clock.
There's the one out in center field, which is quite prominent.
It's good.
The batter has to be ready at the 10-second mark. The official terminology in the rule book is alert to the pitcher.
She's getting a 1 second here.
And if the pitch is not delivered in time, it's ruled a ball. Now that clock is in view of the defense. That one's up behind the grandstand or behind the plate up on the roof.
For the pitcher, sort of like the quarterback, so he can see that 25-second.
So nobody can claim
countdown.
that they cannot see the clock.
Not here anyway. But I think that's why the coaches were questioning it. I think they were asking when Blue was starting it. Change up, and she almost had.
And that might have been ball 4, but Pleasance was protecting the plate. That got in on the hands of the senior shortstop Taylor Pleasance. What highlights we have seen from her over the course of her career.
How good has she been? She keeps getting fisted there. Good pitches. McQueen doing a good job of jamming Tigers. Sneaking balls in for strikes.
McQueen is not only in the circle, but also a 2-time All-Academic Big Ten member. Congratulations to her.
Absolutely.
The 3-2 pitch, again fought off.
Not an easy thing to do while you're traveling, playing so many games.
Illinois started the season with 3 losses. Virginia Tech, Belmont, and Virginia Tech again. Pleasance pulls one off the glove of the first baseman. She recovers, dives to the bag in time, and possession was held. So Pleasance is out 3 unassisted as Malott is able to fight that off and gather it and get to the bag ahead of Pleasance. Coffey now moves up to third.
Malott earned that out. She fought this ball, then had to dive. As Pleasance got down the the baseline a little bit faster than I think Malott thought.
Here's Gutierrez, who, like Pleasance, has 16 hits to lead the Tigers. And this young lady at the plate right now, closing out her senior season, has been the most pleasant surprise offensively for the Tigers without question.
Night and day from her previous 3 seasons. Not that she wasn't a good player. She was a good player. She is a great player right now.
Raylene hitting .390. You can see last year she hit .285. Well, she's 105 points better than that right now. 4 homers entering her season for her career, and she's had 4 this year.
Dad told me she really worked hard over the summer and the fall. Got in the weight room, got stronger.
Her home runs have not been cheap either. She has smashed the ball, rising line drives. She's already put a couple of dents into the scoreboard.
And went from the 9-hole to the cleanup hitter in the LSU lineup. And of course, she's a lefty.
She's also had 3 triples. This ball is hit pretty well, but it is catchable, and the left fielder moves to her left, and Meade makes the play. So Coffey is left at third base after. This roster for the Tigers covers 11 states: California, Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, New York, and Michigan.
That kind of got it covered there, huh? The opening shot with the Illinois fans in the stands, definitely Tyra Perry's family. We talked about that. Tyra Perry is a 1997 graduate of LSU. She was the second ever signee in the program history, and she was a good one.
Oh, yes, she was.
And got her master's 1 year later here. And you know, Lynn, of course I'm old. I remember all of that. Started her career at Nichols, and when LSU started the program again, she was the second signee.
Addison Carroll is plunked. That ball rides up and in and gets her on the left bicep.
It's her rise ball she's trying to sneak in. Remember we said she didn't have a screw?
Here's Paige Birkmeyer, the catcher. The bunt is down, but it's twisting off foul. Casanova is not going to normally get a lot of strikeouts. And by that I mean, you know, the course of like 9, 10 strikeouts in a game over the course of 7 innings. That's not her style, but she generally minimizes the base hits. Doesn't walk a lot of batters. She's having to work early with runners on base in the first couple of innings, but normally she's got enough control and enough moxie to keep the other team off balance.
Well, that's your charge. If you can't strike them out, then you want to control hitters. You would think with...
There's an out at
How pretty
second
is
and
that?
an out at first. 3-6-3. Gutierrez to Pleasance to Gutierrez. The Tigers turn it over, and they turn it over quickly.
Not only is Gutierrez a force at the plate, the lefty, good thing she's got a tall shortstop, but nothing Pleasance can't handle, and they turn that over nice and pretty.
Birkmeyer was thrown out by 2 steps on the relay by Pleasance. And we saw an example of Gutierrez's arm. Remember, she has played right field before and has a very strong arm from the outfield, very strong and very accurate.
But just a natural first baseman. The lefty with the good glove stretches, you know, like you'd want your
She
first
stretches
baseman
like
to
a
stretch.
gymnast on the floor exercise. She is very, very good defensively. And I like the way that she was able to jump back quickly to the bag of it. She knew that she would have the best option on the return throw from shortstop.
Absolutely.
And she kind of waved off Daniel. Daniel was hustling over, doing what she was supposed to do, but Gutierrez said, "I'll take this myself." How about that? A diving catch by the freshman Sierra Daniel. Some 24-karat gold defense in the inning. 5 victories against 220 setbacks, winning 70% of her games. 4 College World Series appearances coming early in her 13 years as head coach of the Tigers. And off to an undefeated start this year. One of only 2 teams in the league that have not suffered a defeat so far.
And her Tigers this year are just red hot. They're playing very, very good softball. Eight seniors on the team.
2-0 on Allie Newland, who's one of those.
Definitely player-led.
You know, Alabama is the other team that has not yet suffered a defeat. So LSU and Alabama, the only 2 unbeatens in the SEC. The Tigers are looking for their 14th consecutive victory to open the season.
Tigers' strength of schedule might be a tad stronger than Alabama's.
Newland is .429 as she stands in. 15 base hits, 4 doubles, 3 homers. 16 driven in. Tigers right now, Yvette, have 4 players who have double-figure RBI, including Coffey at the top of the order with 10. That's a good number in 13 games from a leadoff batter.
And here's Allie Newland, who's just silently putting up some fantastic numbers. SEC Player of the Week.
And she drives it on a line to left field. Meade has room. And Newland hit it solidly, but Meade was there for out number 1. But you look at Pleasance with 27 driven in. That's one of the best numbers in the country. Gutierrez with 15. Newland with 16. That's 4 players. That's nearly half the lineup with double-figure RBI already.
Like I said last week, there are no holes in this lineup.
Here's Rudity.
Sometimes you look at your lineup as a coach and say, there's an out, there's an out, there's an out. But on the really special years, 1 through 9 can hit.
Rudity has the best hitting streak right now for the Tigers with 8 straight. Coffey has hit safely in 7 in a row. Now make it 8 with that bunt base hit to open today's game. LSU, look at all the high rankings. This is across the country. A .374 team batting average. Only 5 teams in the nation are better. Nearly 9 runs a game. On base percentage of .488. That's phenomenal. And a high slugging percentage. All of those categories of bet are among the top 10 in the country.
Everything about this Tiger team so far has been impressive. They are coming back from big deficits. They're winning in the last inning. They're winning in extra innings. And, of course, we said they're unbeaten right now.
Hannah Carson is on deck. The 2-2 pitch to Rudity. Smashed foul. That will scatter folks in the dugout on the first base side. If we ever have severe twister weather at the ballpark, I'm headed to one of the dugouts.
Oh, you could stay in there if there was a hurricane, I think. Although it may fill up with water.
Ooh, that pitch dived a little bit out of the strike zone. Rudity with a very earnest eye at the plate that time.
See, the dugout is the epitome of a sunken dugout. Can hide in there for sure.
Yeah, the 3-2 pitch, and they're much longer than most dugouts. The payoff. Popped up left side, certainly playable. Ward, the shortstop, backs up. She squeezes it for out number 2.
You know, you talked about hiding in the dugout. The first time we ever went to the World Series, Patrick Murphy was my assistant coach, and we go to the coaches meeting, and they talk about evacuation plans for the tornadoes, and they talk about go in the dugout and stay in the dugout with your team because that's one of the sites. And we're looking at each other like, what? They're talking about tornadoes?
Well, in Oklahoma, yeah.
Sure enough, they're there every year.
In my ute, I lived 4 years in Oklahoma.
Ooh, windy.
Saw 5 tornadoes in the sky at the same time.
Scary.
We were on the doorstep of my neighbor's storm shelter.
There was one year also, and I was sitting in the bus in Florida State. They were evacuating all the teams, and Florida State came running, and we were right by a drainage culvert. And I told Joanne Graff, the then coach of Florida State, Tigers got this culvert right here. Go find another one.
Right.
This one's ours. She laughed.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Hannah Carson. Hannah is hitting a quiet, and I put that in quotes, 364. This is her 10th start. No homers, 8 driven in. And she's just one of those players that shows up at the ballpark, gets the job done every day. Maybe not the headline grabber, but certainly a big, big part, defensively and offensively, of this lineup.
Big.
Picked 10th among that group.
That was before Nebraska sustained a devastating injury. Jordy Ball, who transferred from Oklahoma back to Nebraska, her home state, went out in the first inning of the first game this season. That's why Nebraska was picked so high. She will redshirt and be back next year.
Here's the 2-0 pitch to Malott. That burns the inside edge for a strike. Casanova induces a ground foul behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You know, the Big Ten, which will soon become the Big 16, the Big 20, the Big 30, whatever it is, but that's a league that's going to benefit in softball from the addition of the West Coast teams, I think.
What a crazy time. West Coast and the Big Ten.
Well, you've got teams in California that'll have to go to Rutgers.
Yeah, I know a lot of the athletes probably aren't too fired up about that.
Malott with a good eye lets that one pass, and each of the first 3 innings has seen Illinois get its leadoff batter aboard. A base hit, a hit batter, and a walk.
And nothing against Rutgers. It's having to fly across the country.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see some very unique scheduling. I think we're going to have some neutral sites where 4 teams, maybe more, get involved with, tournament type play where you can cut down. There'll still be league games, but you play, maybe a week at a time and get a bunch of the games out of the way. Yazzie Avila sacrifices Malott as Coffey throws her out. But I can see all kinds of things, Yvette, that'll have to be hybridized, a hybrid format a little bit, just to cut down on some of the travel and make it more convenient. Ground ball right side, and Sierra Daniel is there. And Riono is retired 4-3. For the first time, the Illini get a runner at third on a walk, a sacrifice, and a ground out to the right side. And this brings on Serena Starks. Casanova struck her out in the first.
Center fielder, 45, Serena Starks.
It's a big cut by Starks. She got her money's worth.
This young lady played at Princeton for 4 years before transferring to Illinois. She was the Ivy League Player of the Year last year.
Wow.
And she is the only player from Princeton to win that award ever. The 0-2 pitch off the mark.
Her resume is going to look good. Princeton, Illinois.
The Ivy League schools, which do not offer normal type scholarships, are really have suffered and are going to suffer even more under all this transfer NIL stuff, because obviously all of those schools are academically prestigious, but it's very, very expensive. And I think the Ivy League is really going to have some problems under this new landscape. Starks strikes out. Casanova has done a really good job after in each
its own. Around the country, there are some unique fans in every ballpark.
That's one of the great things about baseball and softball, the characters that come day after day, night after night.
Well, and the game just lends itself to it. Football, there's so much action. Basketball, there's so much action. The diamond sports kind of got time in between to do some silly, crazy, entertaining things.
And here's the first time we've seen Kelly Lynch
In a while.
since the Clearwater tournament a couple of weeks ago. She's been in concussion protocol and has been cleared to return to the lineup. So that was the reason for Lynch's absence since coming back from Florida in that rain-shortened tournament in Clearwater. Concussion protocol for Lynch. She's okay and back in the lineup as the DP.
Transfer from Michigan. Of course, she's a Southern girl, hails from Georgia.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Kelly Lynch. This is the 7th start for Lynch. She's hitting .333 with 5 base hits. Lynch is the only right-handed batter in the lineup today.
Only 5 on the roster. I had that answered for me the other day when we put it up as a question.
The 3-2 pitch. Spoiled into the net. Eight of the 9 LSU players in the batting order are hitting above 300. And the only one who isn't, soon will, that's Sierra Briggs, and she's at 293. Her career average is over 350. That's a base on balls that Lynch worked for. She earned it.
She did.
And that's
See
the
if they'll
first,
let her run. I don't think they will.
that's the first base runner for the Tigers since the bunt base hit by Coffey to open the game.
And the Illinois bullpen, well, they're coming in. They hadn't been getting ready.
And I think we're going to get a pinch runner.
I would think so
We
after
are.
being out.
It's Giglio. Giglio generally is the #1 pinch runner off the bench. Madeline Giglio.
Fastest Tiger on the team.
She's a blur. Giglio, pronounced Giglio.
New Orleans native.
Her family is a regular part of the audience here.
Yeah, and it's cool. They wear her jersey. I think it's her grandparents.
Sierra Daniel with a slightly split grip. Tried to bunt a ball that was out of the strike zone.
Not a good pitch to bunt.
Let
Bunt
that
strikes.
one go by.
It's like being a good hitter.
And
Swing
also when that pitch is elevated like that, there's a high propensity for a pop-up.
And that's the pitcher's job, to try and get you to pop up. Her job is not to allow you to put that bunt down that easily.
Carly Petty was playing second base most of the time, but she's been battling a wrist injury. The Tigers expect her back within a couple of weeks, although it's unknown at this time. But in her absence, this youngster has come on and done a really good job. Sierra Daniel, both offensively and defensively.
Yep, she's done everything Beth Torina has asked of her. She's made great plays on defense. She just put this bunt down, which does not go unnoticed by coaches. She sacrifices and moves the runner, does her job, has a positive at-bat.
So here's Coffey now. who has the only Tiger hit. That was a bunt single to lead off the game. She was left at third base. Strike one. That one splits the plate by Tori McQueen. One walk, a couple of strikeouts for McQueen. And only one base hit allowed. Coffey has an RBI opportunity. Giglio would score on just about any kind of a base hit from second base. Anything that makes the outfield.
And the outfield's playing semi-deep, so you're right. She would score with her wheels.
A chop to the left side. Third baseman had trouble getting it out of her glove. Coffey is safe, and Giglio advances to third with some alert and aggressive base running.
She did, but Carol at third could have picked her off. She kind of hesitates with this ball right here, juggles it a little bit.
And you're right, after the juggle,
she could have, yep.
She had Giglio leading way off for second base, but she never looked to her left.
Never did.
But
she had her dead to rights.
They're going to rule that a base hit. And so Coffey has a couple of infield singles. And the Tigers have a chance to get to the scoreboard first with Sierra Briggs at the plate. She struck out in the first inning and takes a strike to open the at-bat. Giglio and Coffey aboard. Briggs rips one into left field. That's down for a base hit. Giglio scores. Coffey running to third. Slides head first. She's there. And Briggs with the RBI base hit advances to second base. 1-0 Tigers as they break through first.
Coffey just turned it on. She's so fun to watch run. She just turns it on. Of course, who comes up with the big hit? Briggs. And watch Coffey. Like a, no, I want to say thoroughbred or a quarter horse. Short distance.
We get the picture. She can run.
She can run, and it's fun to watch.
So Briggs with the RBI single. And LSU has a 1-0 lead with two of its three base hits coming in this inning.
We're checking on the headset.
Illinois is challenging that the runner left early from first base.
So that's her second challenge, and that will be it.
Right. So this is what we referred to earlier as the timing plays.
She is fast.
Coffey was at first base. We'll get a look at this. Now watch number 13. Oh, she is off early.
Yep. That's good. Good by Illinois to pick that up.
She is very much premature on her release from the bag. That wasn't even close.
And that's going to erase a run.
So the runners will retreat. Giglio will go back to be a base runner. And she'll be at third. Coffey is out with a premature move from first base.
Pretty to watch, but you can't leave till the pitch is released.
And she was a good stride and a half off the base before the pitch left McQueen's hand.
That should erase the run.
Yep, it will.
I don't know what the big discussion is.
I don't either. Briggs will have to come back to the plate.
Dead ball.
Everybody returns, play over.
2 outs.
And 2 outs. So Coffey is out at first for leaving early. It's the second out. Giglio has to return to third as the pinch runner for Lynch. And
he might have lost count.
Yeah, now they're going to, I think, check to see what the count was on Briggs. Just ask Briggs, she'll tell you.
I'm sure.
Now, if you're an umpire, you ought to give a hand signal, and he
Yes.
does. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well done.
Everybody's just got to take the run off the board.
And they still have no balls and no strikes on the scoreboard, but the count is 2-2. Briggs will not be bunting. That's a little wide. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Taylor Pleasance is on deck. Well, now they put 1-0. That's not correct. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Is there a play at first? Giglio coming from third base. Safe! Giglio able to avoid the tag at the plate, and the Tigers do indeed get the run.
And she really broke late.
She did.
So you can see how fast she is. Of course, that was a great slide. Watch this. Okay, she should be coming now.
What is she waiting on?
She's waiting for the throw. She should be dead at the plate. What a slide. And just show, I was close, but she's safe.
And a legal slide because she was able to reach and get the back point of the plate.
But how fast is that kid?
Pleasance hits it high and deep to left field, but it's playable, and Meade is out there to grab it. 2/3 innings, a 2.28 ERA, only 11 walks. Swing and a miss. She has allowed 20 base hits.
Curveball is her best pitch. You just saw her deliver it at 67 miles an hour. She's got a drop, rise, screw, change. Her change is at 55, so that's a good differential there.
Physically in stature, she's not as tall, as big as many of the pitchers in the SEC. She's got some giddy up though.
She might be the shortest on the staff. Oh
But
yes, she does.
She got some
steam
mustard
on the ball.
The 1-1. Briggs backing up. She's going to have room in front of the warning track, and the inning is over. But a double by Carlisle produced LSU trailing, and the Tigers will have Gutierrez leading off in the bottom of the 4th. Raylene on a 4-game hitting streak. She flied to left field last time. And you know, Yvette, we talked about the pressure that Illinois put on in each of the first 4 innings, and finally in the 4th they made something happen with that leadoff batter aboard.
And right now, how big is that Coffee leaving early, take the run off the board scenario?
The pitch is high and a little tight, 2-0 to Gutierrez. Gutierrez will be followed by Newland and Rudity. So you got a 4-game hitting streak going in Gutierrez. You got a 5-gamer in Newland and an 8-gamer in Rudity.
Talked about this senior-laden team. They usually don't panic in a situation like this. As we've talked about, unbeaten on the year so far.
There's Beth Torina looking on. A little bit of sunshine peeking through.
At that bad angle.
The 2-1 pitch. That's there for a strike.
And it just floats on that corner.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Gutierrez will be bearing down on this count. Tori McQueen throws a changeup that's hit sharply, gloved by Avila, and she gets the out. Gutierrez was not particularly fooled by the off-speed pitch, but Avila was able to make the play at second base.
How about these second basemen? Slick fielding infielders on both teams.
This is the 8th time these teams have played. LSU has won 4 of the previous 7. Illinois defeated LSU. It took 8 innings to do it the last time they played. That was a couple of years ago.
One of LSU's best victories over Illinois was in Waco, Texas, to advance to the Women's College World Series.
You were coaching that team, weren't you?
I was. Kristen Schmidt was on the mound.
Well, you got pretty good odds right there. Five-time College World Series coach Yvette Girard. Lynn Rollins with you today. We are so thankful you've chosen to join us. Call a buddy and tell him the game's on, and there'll be another one involving LSU following this one. Newland pops up to the pitcher. Well, 2 quick outs. And I've been impressed with Tori McQueen, the way she's been able to keep LSU from getting consistent, solid contact.
Putting a lot of balls on the hitter's hands and making weak contact.
Rudity.
And the lefty curveball pitcher seemed to give LSU some problems. Of course, as we talked about, there's 8 lefties in the lineup, so that curveball is just sweeping away.
McKenzie popped up to the shortstop last time. And pops this one up, but it's not playable behind the screen.
And that's a pitch she'd like to have back.
Yes, she would.
That was a mistake. A little bit too much on the white.
This is pitch number 65 with 40 strikes from McQueen. Now, she pitched the first game, too, through 95 pitches. allowed 6 hits and a run, so she was pretty efficient.
Took something off of that last pitch and kind of froze Rudity.
2 balls, 2 strikes now, 2 outs. Nobody on base. We play in the 4th. LSU scored 1 in the 3rd and gave up 2 in the 4th. Rudity waits. Three and 2 with Carson on deck.
Hanging in there at full count.
The count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, snuck it in.
Give McQueen credit as she hit the inside corner and records another 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 5th as McQueen rips one over the inside edge. That one had enough bite to get a piece of the corner. And on that strikeout, it ends the inning. Illinois 2, LSU Tigers by the same score as we play in the top of the 5th inning. Hall of Fame coach Yvette Girard and Lynn Rollins with you. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. It'll be LSU and San Diego State in a game following this one.
Once again, Lynn.
Avila makes it 5 for 5 for the Illini in putting their leadoff batter aboard.
Man, I wonder if that's a record for Illinois.
Just a little run-up swing. Riono walked, or rather had a base hit in the 1st. Carroll was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Malott walked in the 3rd. Meade singled in the 4th, and now a single by Avila here in the 5th. Strike 1, a good heater to Kelly Riono. She has singled and bounced out to second base. LSU has been out hit 5-3 and trails 2-1.
No bunt on.
Leadoff batters, they've been pretty darn good. They've reached base every time.
Yep.
3 singles, a hit batter, and a walk.
Goal of the pitcher in every inning is to get the first out. Been tough today for the Tigers. That could be a double play.
The turn, the throw, got him the second time. LSU has turned a double play. It was back in the 2nd inning, a 6-4-3 double play. This is 5-4-3. And the Tigers have been really good defensively.
And that's Daniel's best turn that we've seen.
Very close at first base. It was ruled an out.
Coming in for a pinch hitter. At first I thought, you're out of challenges, so it's not that. Although one challenge was a great one.
That's an around the horn double play. Coffey, Daniel, and Gutierrez turn it over.
Tyra Perry, the ex-Tiger. There used to be a bat in the old locker room that was all dented up, and the caption said, "We bust our bats for our pitchers." And it was her bat that was busted up, and it was her saying.
Delaney Mosley is pinch hitting. She's a freshman. This is Mosley out of Washington, D.C. batting for Starks, who has struck out twice. Starks is the center fielder. We'll see if she returns to the game, but it's Mosley pinch hitting for Starks. 1 ball, 1 strike from Raylan Chafin. 2 outs, the base is empty after the double play, and that one's cued off the handle. Foul. Stevie Meade is on deck. She's 1 for 2. Mosley crouches at the plate. And Chafin comes in on her hands, a swinging strikeout. So a good inning defensively for the team. Give some credit to Tori McQueen.
I was about to say.
This left-hander has really pitched well.
She's made some good pitches to leave batters stranded. She's controlling hitters. She came in here, Lynn, with a 4.97 ERA, but she has not pitched like that.
No, and she beat Louisiana Tech 2-1 earlier. It's Carson, it's Lynch, it's Daniel, the bottom third of the order for LSU. A 13-game winning streak to open the season is on the line for the Tigers.
I tell you, that inside pitch right there has the lefties from LSU kind of tied up.
Well, they've been caught leaning over the plate because she's worked the outside corner pretty well. And every once in a while, she'll bust one in and has been able to find that corner.
Well, that time she hit her.
So the Tigers, for the third time, get their leadoff batter aboard. At this point, you'll take it any way you can get it if you're LSU.
Absolutely. Illinois dugout's trying to say she leaned over the... She might have leaned a little bit, but she got her in the chest, so...
And we've got a pinch runner. This is Townsend. Maya Townsend is the pinch runner. She's an outfielder by trade.
Daughter of longtime UAB head softball coach Marla Townsend. She's got some softball in her blood for sure. Grew up, I'm sure, in the dugout.
The pitch to Lynch. Splits the plate for a strike. That one right down Nicholson Drive. The outfield is deep, trying to cut off the potential for an extra base hit, and straight away. Lynch walked and scored the only run for the Tigers. That came in the third.
See if Lynch is a little rusty. Hadn't swung a bat in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Coming
in
off,
a game.
Yeah,
in a
coming
game.
off concussion protocol.
I'm sure she's been swinging in the cages and stuff, but I meant live action in a game.
The 0-2 pitch. McQueen has some room to nibble here. And she doesn't even use it. She ripped the outside edge. That is well done.
She's got the Tigers guessing.
Well, not much resistance offered by Lynch in this at-bat. That comes back just enough to catch the corner. Here's Sierra Daniel, who had a sacrifice bunt. Let's see if they call upon her to bunt again, even with one out. 4 1/3 innings for Tori McQueen. Only 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. She has been poised, and she has made the proper pitch when she's needed to.
Absolutely. And she's working both sides of the plate.
That is bunted, and it
Fair.
is a foul ball.
Foul? Okay. That was pretty close to being fair.
It took 1 rotation to the right before it stopped in the dirt.
I thought it was right there at the front of the batter's box, but I better check my glasses.
Daniel waves and can't find it.
You see that big curveball in the outside corner, then she'll sneak one on the inside corner, and 2 strikes down. Daniels feels like she has to swing at this pitch when it's not a strike. No way.
That might have been the biggest sweeper we've seen so far.
Yeah, no way she can catch up to that pitch.
Here's Coffee. LSU has a runner at first with 2 outs now after a pair of strikeouts.
Will she send her? There she goes, and the throw is
not in time. It looked like the ball might have been there, but it was Townsend. He was able to get to the bag before the tag.
And they let the second baseman take the throw, which is sometimes the fastest way to get a thrown out, but sure enough, Blue's right there and gets it correct again.
Townsend got in under the tag, the 1-0 pitch. That's her first stolen base of the year, by the way. And not a bad place to run, Yvette, because even if she's thrown out, you've got Coffee leading off the next inning.
Absolutely.
Now Danica has an RBI opportunity, and the Tigers need one to tie. There's the breaking ball again to the lefty. Coffee has bunted her way aboard and has a conventional base hit as well.
Just a good matchup for the Tigers and all the lefties in the lineup. She's got a curveball that's working. It's working off the plate.
8 left-handed batters, as has been the custom for LSU most of the year.
Can she come back with that money pitch again?
This is the make it happen count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. LSU's potential tying run at second base. We play in the 5th.
It was a good take there.
It was, and that was the veteran Coffee who trusted herself, watched the spin, and let it ease outside. The 3-2 pitch coming to Danica Coffee. Briggs on deck. Predictably, it's fouled away. 2 runs, 5 hits for Illinois. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers. This game has been errorless on both sides. McQueen's 80th pitch is on the way as we play in the 5th. Lifted out toward left field, a routine fly ball from Meade, and she's got it, and that retires the side with the potential tying run left in scoring position. So Meade once again bears down and gets through. You know, I bet you over the years you get to know some of the regulars, the people who are here rain or shine, cold or hot, non-conference game or regional, and they just become part of your extended family. They're part of your softball family.
Well, this guy
and to
was
lose one, it hurts.
a big baseball guy. He was a Nichols State baseball coach, and he sat down with me and showed me how to run my very first practice when I became a head coach.
Bergeron behind the plate, replacing Carson. Chafin came on an inning and a third ago in relief of Emily Casanova. She came on with 2 outs in the 4th.
And her challenge is to stop the Illini from getting on in the first at bat of an inning.
In each of the first 5 innings, there's been an Illini on base. We're going to have to do a little research exactly what is an Illini.
Oh,
That's foul by a Scotch.
ooh, that was close.
That's a Scotch away from an extra base hit. And a Scotch is just a little bit.
So very, very close.
If you had a challenge left, you could use it on that play.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd like to see it again. But
The
none
2-2
left.
pitch to Meade, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored. This time she pulls it with authority. Let's go back and look at this ball. Fair or foul off the bat of Meade down the right field line? Foul.
He was a little tardy in turning around, but he got it right. He's trying to duck out of the way of it.
The 2-2 pitch
Oh, I thought maybe that was that delayed call that you said softball umpires do. Pull up.
Can Meade get on base for the 6th straight time to lead off an inning? The 3-2 pitch. She does. Illinois has been perfect in putting the leadoff batter aboard. Here's Abby Reineck, who has bounced out unassisted to Gutierrez and also bounced out to Daniel, the second baseman. Steve, right.
Great pitch on the outside corner.
Pitching has been good enough for LSU. Offense in this game to this point has not.
3 hits. Perry has not bunted very much in sacrificing runners to second. Of course, she's got her leading hitters up there in a lot of these occasions, so she's letting them swing away.
That's a good pitch on the inner part of the plate. The University of Illinois was established shortly after the Civil War. It was started in 1867. And this is impressive of that. 29 Pulitzer Prize winners have come from Illinois.
Wowzer.
56,000 students.
Ooh, that's a big school.
"11 Nobel laureates have come from the school. This is looped up the middle, and it's a base hit as it finds the grass. So Meade is pushed to second. Reineck was able to fight that off and get a soft liner down on the grass behind second base.
The Illini trying to make Tyra Perry's homecoming a good one. Putting a lot of pressure on the Tigers in every inning.
By the way, I've been told what an Illini is. It's an Indian word for warrior.
And they are warriors today.
Zoe Howard is going to be a pinch runner. Howard is running for Reineck at first base. LSU cannot afford to yield any more runs with only 6 outs offensively with which to work. The 0-1 pitch from Chafin. Check swing, and that got a piece of the bat for a foul ball.
Would you be bunting here, Lynn?
I think I would.
I think I would too. Insurance runs at this situation. Maybe she can't bunt though. Coaches are usually at practice every day and they should know more than we do.
One thing that Chafin could use is a strikeout, and she gets it. That pitch was outside. That was not a strike,
nope.
But Carroll went after it anyway, and she's retired for the first time.
Pitcher's pitch for sure. This ball doesn't even start in the strike zone.
That normally would not be a usable pitch, but it was with the eagerness of Carroll. So there's a big out, and here is Paige Birkmeyer. She has bounced into a double play. That went 6-4-3. She also has grounded out to Pleasance.
Illini only have 3 home runs so far on the season.
The 1-0 pitch to Berkmeyer. That one missed somewhere, 2-0. Famous alumni from Illinois.
Give me some Nobel laureates.
How about Hugh Hefner?
Nope.
Not a Nobel
He's
laureate.
not a Nobel laureate. Don't know if there was a lot of reading going on.
Gene
there.
Hackman, the actor.
Yep, know him.
Nick Offerman, the actor.
Not sure about him.
Roger Ebert, a film critic.
Yep,
Jesse Jackson, the civil rights activist
of course.
and pastor. Dan Fogelberg, singer-songwriter.
Jesse Jackson went to Illinois. Wow.
That pitch is bobbled behind the plate, and the runners advance. And I bet that's a very,
That's
very
huge.
important advance, because now there are two in scoring position, and one is just 60 feet away.
Yep.
That's a wild pitch. Bergeron did everything she could, but just could not keep it playable. So a costly misfire from Chafin, and here's the 3-1.
If Illinois comes up with a base hit, is that ball 4? Yes, it is.
So the bases are loaded. That's the second walk from Chafin, the third of the day. Casanova had one. And here is Megan Ward, who has lined out to Daniel. That was in the second inning. And the freshman second baseman made a fabulous diving catch, and then she had a base hit and an RBI last time.
Ward started every game at shortstop last season.
Chafin needs a strikeout very badly. LSU is in jeopardy of dropping its first game of the year against the Illini of Illinois. Here is the 0-1 pitch to Megan Ward. Chafin lets it fly, swing and a miss. That one had a little lift to it. Ward is a senior from McDonald, Ohio.
Talking about usable pitches, that wasn't one. Tense moment here in this game, a big moment.
Chafin released that pitch, Yvette, with 1 second on the pitch clock. Boy, you don't want
that would be brutal.
You don't want a ball assessed to you here
No.
on a timing issue.
I think Blue would have a hard time raising that hand up. But that's the rule. Infield is drawn in for the Tigers.
The 1-2 pitch from Chafin. Lifted in foul ground, caught by the left fielder, and the throw is a beauty on one hop right into the glove of Bergeron. Nobody can advance.
Once again, Allie Newland with the big-time play. She stays on her feet. I thought she was going to dive for that ball.
And I thought she might miss it, let it fall foul on purpose, so that the runner couldn't tag from third. But watch this.
And
Sets and fires.
a gun,
And that
a
is a
bullet.
strike to the plate.
A bullet. I thought for a second she was going to leave her feet, and that was going to be a big mistake. But Allie Newland fashion, no mistake there.
Still work to be done. Sydney Malott at the plate. Malott has walked and flied to center field. .455 this season with runners in scoring position. She has lived for these moments and thrived. The pitch. Steve right. Now, if Chafin can stay there, she will have success. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. LSU trying to hold off this Illinois team, trailing 2-1. The Tigers have only 6 outs with which to work, and they trail by a marker. 2 in the 4th for the Illini, 1 in the 3rd for the Tigers. LSU has been out-hit 6-3. The outfield is medium depth and off to the right side. Here's the 2-1. Sliced the other way. That's a grandstand souvenir.
Speaking of the grandstand, they have come alive trying to help Chafin in the circle.
LSU and San Diego State will play about 35 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Here's the 2-2 pitch, a very big pitch. She tried to yank it, or rather, absolutely throw that changeup, and it looked like it kind of got stuck. Huh?
Yep, that's exactly what happened. She kind of didn't trust it. Let it go.
Well, you got to throw a strike here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runners will be moving. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Illinois by 1 in the 6th. Here we go. A looper foul just past third. That might have been ball 4.
I was going to say.
But Malott really can't afford to let one close go by.
Too close to take.
By the way, the pitch clock was at 0. The umpires will usually give about a second past that, but technically it was at 0. How would you like to have a ball 4 assist and not even throw a pitch?
I think there would be a riot in the stands.
Plenty of time this time. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul. These are the battles that make or break you. Bases loaded. 2 outs. 1-run game. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Malott.
Will it be the Indian Warrior or the Tiger with its teeth out?
Here we go again. The third 3-2 pitch. We'll have a 4th one. Malott spoiling pitches. Chafin throwing strikes. Tighten your seatbelts. This will be the 9th pitch coming from Chafin to the first baseman, Malott.
Chafin wants a ball that was fouled off. They know which ones they want. Pitchers, that is.
Tiger fans are eating Tums by the spoonful. Here comes the 3-2 pitch.
Did she go?
Yes,
she did.
And she tried to hold up on a pitch that looked down 16 so far today. Briggs bunts it, it stays fair, and there's the pickup, but no chance for a throw. And Sierra Briggs is now 2 for 3. More importantly, representing the tying run in this game, she's aboard with nobody out.
The Tigers said, let's try this. Let's get the leadoff runner on also.
Well, LSU's glad to get off that 3-hit stand for a while.
We're going to have a conference on the mound. I'm sure it's just a conference. I can't imagine that.
I don't see anybody warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, they were earlier, but oh yeah, there's somebody there now.
Well, McQueen has been really good.
You're not lifting her, I don't believe.
That's Lauren Wiles getting warmed up.
Just making sure everybody's on the same page out there.
Let's check some other SEC scores while we've got a moment. South Alabama and Alabama were canceled. A lot of rain in that state. In the Woo Pig Classic, Arkansas beat Southeast Missouri State 5-0. Is that Wooey or Woo? Anyway, it's the Pig Classic.
Making me hungry for bacon.
Auburn and Northwestern were canceled. That was in Auburn. Florida will play UCLA later on the West Coast. It will also play DePaul. Texas A&M and Weber State will get together later, as will the Aggies and Cal State Fullerton. Georgia has a win over California today, 4-2. That's out in California, and also a win over Boise State, 4-1. The Queen City Classic in Charlotte, North Carolina has been canceled, so Kentucky not able to play there. Here's Pleasance. Southeastern in Hammond is in Oxford to take on Ole Miss. UAB and Ole Miss also are scheduled to play. Troy and Mississippi State are scheduled to go in Starkville. South Carolina beat Kennesaw State 4-3, and later we'll play UCF, and you are up to date. 2 balls and no strikes. A hitter's count to Pleasance with the tying run at first base. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
Oh,
There's a throw, and it rolls into center field, and nobody was running. I don't know why.
Oh.
Berkmeyer just took it and tossed it to second base as if there were a runner.
I am not sure I've ever seen that.
Now, she might have been decoyed, if you will, by the shortstop who was running over to back up the return throw. But the catcher just cut loose.
That's a huge.
So that's an error, obviously, on the catcher.
It's a huge mistake, and plus for LSU, and now it's ball 4.
So Pleasance draws the walk. She's been hitting .500 with runners in scoring position. But she draws the base on ball. She represents the go-ahead run.
Of course, I guess it's not that big a mistake now because she walked her and she would have been at second, but.
Here is Raylene Gutierrez on a 4-game hitting streak, but 0 for 2 today. She has flied to left and grounded to second base. And Beth Torina is.
She wants to talk it over with her coaches.
So we'll see what they decide to do.
We're going to let her hit, or are we going to bunt her?
The Tigers have Briggs at second base. She's got fine speed. Pleasance at first base. Everybody in purple and white gathered on the first base side to discuss it.
Raylan, always with the smile, saying, "Okay, coach, I'll just do whatever you tell me to do."
Newland is on deck. This is the middle of that potent LSU lineup.
Big inning here for both teams.
Briggs at second, Pleasance at first, nobody out.
Illinois kind of got themselves in a little bit of hole here now.
And we've got a runner at first base for Pleasance.
Michaela Walker.
Michaela Walker, the sophomore, running for Pleasance.
And she's going to bunt. And she puts it down.
It stays fair. The throw to first base is in time for the out. But Gutierrez is able to steer that ball in front of the plate. The sacrifice is successful. And now Walker, who's 120 feet from the plate at second base, represents the go-ahead run.
Just doing what her coach has asked her to do perfectly.
Briggs at third. Walker at second base.
And here is the SEC Player of the Week up to bat.
Allie Newland has lined to left and popped up to the pitcher. She's swinging on the first pitch and slices it foul. Oh, drama in the 6th inning. 1 in the 3rd for the Tigers, 2 in the 4th for the Illini. That's where we are in the bottom of the 6th. The outfield is deep and straight away. The 0-1. Bunted. That was a safety squeeze. Briggs read it, started toward the plate, and then reversed. Not a bad idea, but it was steered foul, and that results in the second strike against Newland.
Beth Torina pulling all the tricks out of the bag. Scored their 1 run on the same play, safety squeeze.
Newland has been phenomenal with runners in scoring position. She's hitting .615 this season with runners in scoring position. That is the team leading number. But like the stock market, the past is no guarantee of the future. You got to make it happen each time.
That
She
just
does.
happened.
A base hit to left field. 1 run scores. We've got a tie ball game. Newland is on her way to second after the throw to the plate. And the Tigers have come back to tie it. And it's the SEC Player of the Week who does it. Allie Newland just put the fat part of the bat in the middle of the softball and drove a liner to left. Griggs was able to stroll in from third. Walker moves to third. And the veteran gets it done, Yvette.
Stays long on that pitch. She is dynamite. Great
so she
piece
was
of hitting.
above 600 with runners in scoring position, and that goes up.
Great piece of hitting.
Here's Ruderty, who is 0 for 2, a pop-up and a strikeout. The go-ahead run is at third. Ruderty pops it up, but that's not playable. Newland is up to 643 this year with runners in scoring position. You cannot ask for more.
These two hitters, Newland and Ruderty, dynamite at the bottom of the lineup.
Ruderty is 0 for 2. She's hit safely in 8 straight games. She's going to bunt it. That's going to score a run. Everybody is safe. The third baseman could not make the pickup. And the Tigers have taken the lead, their first since the third inning.
So we're glowing about the big hitters, and the short game is putting the Tigers ahead in this contest. That's 3 sacrifice squeeze that we've seen, and maybe not enough communication by Illinois on defense.
That's going to be an infield hit as Walker scores from third. Well, I think they might have ruled an error on that. We'll check it. One thing that's not in jeopardy is the 2 runs in the 6th inning for a 3-2 lead. Here's Bergeron. Hitting only 167. She's had 1 home run. She needs to make contact with runners at first and third, and only 1 out. That's off the plate.
Not much.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Tiger team just finding ways to score runs and try to win games. In this game, how about the short game?
Two balls and a strike on Macy Bergeron. Well, it's important, Yvette, as you well know, to stretch the lead. The Tigers have been trailing in the back half of the game, leading by 1 now, but a 2-run cushion is much, much bigger.
How big was that pitch by Chafin a while ago with the bases loaded?
Here we go at 2-1. That's a pitch she'd like to see again.
Well, she'd like to swing at.
That's one you've got to hammer.
Well, this is her first at bat, correct?
Yep. The 2-2 pitch. Newland at third.
Got fisted.
Popped up. The pitcher roams out of the circle to her right. McQueen's got it. And now the Tigers, with 2 outs, send Kelly Lynch to the plate. Lynch has walked and scored and struck out. A 2-run 6th inning for LSU has given the Tigers a 3-2 lead over the Illini. The pitch to Lynch. Poked foul back into the net.
Illini have had a little miscommunication on the infield. Will Torina run with the first and third situation, 2 outs? Everybody in this lineup runs well for the Tigers.
2 runs, 6 hits for Illinois. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Tigers. The pitch blowing away.
Not going yet.
LSU has had 4 base runners in the inning. Half of them have crossed the plate. This is popped up to shallow center field. Starks comes on and makes the play, and the inning is over. But LSU here in Baton Rouge, LSU has overtaken the Illini with 2 in the 6th inning and leads it by 1. And now it's up to Raylan Chafin and her teammates defensively. There's a strike to Yazzie Avila. She has sacrificed and singled at the bottom of the order. She had a base hit against Chafin in the 5th. The pitch. In on the hands and fouled away.
Tigers avoided a disaster in the last inning.
The Illini loaded the bases with 1 out, but could not get a run across.
And definitely swing at ball 4 with the bases loaded. After a good battle at the plate.
Chafin throws outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Illini would love to do what they've done in the previous 6 innings, and that's get the leadoff batter aboard. They are 6 for 6. Chafin rocks and fires and misses high. Now you need to make a good pitch right here at 2-2.
And you want to get that first out. That's your goal.
It has not happened so far.
They have made Chafin throw extra pitches. 50 so far in relief.
She is the pitcher of record now for the Tigers. The infield on its toes, crouching and waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Bounced back to Chafin. She's got it. The underhanded throw to Gutierrez. And that's the first time the Illini have not put the leadoff batter on base. Two outs to go for LSU to go to 14-0 on the season. Here's Kelly Riono at the top of the order. She has a single, a ground out, and bounced into a double play. Chafin, swing and a miss. A good pitch, a big cut, no contact.
Yep, that ball just fell off the table.
Riono hitting .342. A very solid player offensively at the top of the order. 1 for 3 tonight. We've got a nail biter here.
Leading hitter.
Chafin working ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. This has been quite the ball game. No separation at all between these teams. 1-0 Tigers after 3. 2-1 Illini after 4, and now in the 7th it's 3-2 LSU. Swing and a miss. That ball was edging off the plate. A really good pitch by Chafin.
Let's see the pitch sequence here. We're going to see a screwball. Throws away a rise there. Curveball. Took something off of that curve, but painted the outside corner. You know, if the Tigers win this game, they're going to get in the mindset that they cannot be beat. They're unbeaten so far, and they had to fight for this victory, and they've done that a couple of times already.
Chafin has struck out 4. She has walked 2. She has allowed 2 base hits in relief. 1-0 on Starks. Serena is 0 for 2, and has struck out both times. The count is level at 1. Starks is not an extra base threat. She does not have an extra base this year. She's had 12 singles. She's fallen behind 1 and 2. Let's see if Chafin can nail it down. The crowd is up, sending encouragement to Chafin.
Blue is calling timeout. Timing violation on the hitter. That's strike 3. Whew. We hadn't seen that too often.
Well, we're going to have a discussion. This game is over. The hitter has to be alert to the pitcher, which means in the box and basically in her stance at the 10-second mark. And I have not seen last year or this year a game end on this fashion. In fact, very few infractions.